Hey everybody, welcome back to the Quiet Professional. So today we are going to be talking about less lethal use of force, some chemicals, and decontamination. But before we get to that, we have a unique personal story that's going to get us to that point. For that, I have Autumn Ryan on the show. A little background on Autumn. She is a serial entrepreneur who launched her first company the day after college graduation as a single mom and grew a janitorial business into a multi-million-dollar enterprise and national franchise. Self-funded, she spent nearly a decade building SoRite, which has evolved into a trusted line of decontamination and disinfectant products used across public safety, healthcare, corrections, and residential settings. So this is member tested and recommended by the National Tactical Officers Association. And one of the products in particular, Defense Cleanse, is engineered to remove capsaicin oil found in OC, which is pepper spray, CS or tear gas, and NC or riot control agents, and bear spray. So it delivers one of the fastest recovery times available on the market and reduces the horrible effects that are experienced because of exposure. And her work has been featured on Good Morning America and in Dave Ramsey's publications. So welcome, Autumn.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, I have a lot of gray hair and wrinkles to prove it.
Yeah.
So,
You know what?
oh, entrepreneurship, always fun, huh?
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't run a multi-million dollar company, but I do this podcast, which is like my third job. And I know how hard that alone can be. So I couldn't imagine what you're doing. But yeah, let's get into your story and let's start wherever the beginning is for you. But
Well,
I'm curious.
well, I want to just say thank you for what you do. I couldn't do what you do. So we're all here on Earth to do our own special missions, and so thank you.
Hmm. Appreciate it.
Yes. So yeah, let's get into it. So what would you like to know?
Well, let's just start with your story. I think it'll be, people are pretty fascinated about how individuals that come on these shows, how you just actually got into this. Because obviously, you're not in law enforcement. You didn't start there. You didn't start with the company. So, the life trajectory. What is it that brought you to this point?
Well, I got about I need like 6 hours, but I'll try to sum it up pretty quick. But so gosh, I've grown a lot in all of these years. I'm 46 years old now, but I was let's see, 20, I was 22.
Hmm.
And it really, honestly, I won't go into all the weeds, but I'll cut to like the real highlights. It's crazy because when you're little and everybody's like, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?"
Yeah.
And I really believe that we are put on this earth for a mission. I truly believe that. I put
Hmm.
everything around what I'm doing around a divine mission. And I believe that I was given this purpose as a divine mission. And so you'll always hear me backing that. So when I was very little, even when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I would clean hotels before we would leave. And my parents and my brothers were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just love to clean." Always did. My dad would always be like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I'm like, "I want to be a maid." And my dad would be like, "No, honey, you want to own the maid company." And so, I actually wanted to be a park ranger. So my direction was going to be becoming a park ranger. And then at the very last minute, I ended up going to the University of Mississippi on a soccer scholarship. Like, "Meow," I went over
Oh,
here,
wow.
and yeah, I was a D1 athlete for a short amount of time. And then I got into broadcast journalism and did that for 2 years, very connected with Ole Miss and that, hotty toddy, by the way. And then I, took another turn and I ended up, surprise, Savannah was coming along and took 2 years off of college. And then I ended up, I am a very driven very driven individual. And I actually finished college in 3.5 years. I took like 27 hours a semester,
Oh, geez.
including summer. And so with a 1-year-old living with my parents, a single mother, I was like, I want to get out and as quickly as possible on my own. And so the only thing I could do after graduating from college with an advertising marketing degree was selling sales to Yellow Pages. So I'm totally dating myself. And I'm like, no, I am not doing this. And my mom's like, well, you love to clean. Go start a cleaning company. And I'm like, I did not bust my, you know what, taking 27 hours a semester plus summer with a 1-year-old
Mhm.
to, clean, you know what. And but then I researched how much cleaning companies made, and I'm like, where's my toilet brush? So I then started a cleaning company and I cleaned, I mean, for 17 years straight.
Wow.
Residential, commercial, construction, corporate, truck stop bathrooms, courthouses. We cleaned all the way, I mean, it, all the model homes here in Nashville, Tennessee. Within like 3 months, I had over 6 people to 9 people working for me full time.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was just like boom, boom, boom. My mother helped me build this up, and it was called Southern Comfort Cleaning. And I mean, I was young and stupid and naive, and I was hungry,
Yeah.
and I wanted to succeed. And so I saw how big the industry could be, and so I built that up as a woman-owned business, and worked with metro government contracts. And I ended up having 34 full-time employees and like 40 something part-time employees. And
Jeez.
um, and the funny part about it is, I ended up getting all of my best employees. I went to different churches and and 99% of the time, it was funny because the woman that would answer the phone, now remember, this is back in the early 2000s, 99% of the time, they always would take the position and they always had brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles that
Yep.
would end up taking the position too. And so it just going inside that church and then bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how I ended up getting all my employees.
It's kind of like a family
And
business in that way.
it
Yeah.
really was. And then I always knew you take care of your employees, they take care of you.
Hmm.
So I paid back then, like anywhere between 13 to $15 an hour. And really, again, think about this. This was at the beginning of the early 2000s. That was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, like so it's always been in my blood, cleaning. So that's why I think it was my divine mission is what I always say to people. So yeah, that's how I got started with it. And I'm a very, very competitive person.
Mm.
And so I always have to be the best. And if you know me, um, I don't settle for mediocrity. If I go after something, I've got to be the best. So, um, I ended up having like over 95% of the model homes here in Nashville. And the way I did that was by having bundt cakes. I would go home with a 1-year-old and I would make bundt cakes. My mom would make bundt cakes. We would make candles. We would do whatever we had to do to set us apart from all the rest of the
Yeah.
other cleaning companies. So yeah, Southern Comfort Cleaning.
See, I
So
thought, well, the way I know Southern Comfort is the alcohol. So I was like, oh, maybe that meant you were allowed to drink on the job, but
well, it's funny because my construction guys loved me because I would come in with Southern Comfort, and
mm,
I'm like, "Hey, I'm here." And the SoCo girl was here, is what my name was back in the days. So yes, I took full advantage of that.
so you were saying like you're doing the baking and making candles and stuff. So you were leaving those like at jobs that you were doing for people?
Yes. Yes, and even like for example, like at Halloween, I would be like, "We'll make your homes bootyful." I mean, it was like the corniest stuff, but it stuck, and they remembered us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and that I guess that was where my marketing degree came out. So yeah,
Maybe on the leadership aspect of it too, when you're talking about having just left university, you have a 1 year old. Um, do you think like maybe just being so young, you might be naive to like all the risk that's out there and stuff? But if you have that drive, like maybe you're a little more fearless of doing that. Cause like if you tried to do it now, you're like, well, I gotta give up all these things, and here's all these other things that are risks, and you might not do it. But kind of at that age, it's like if you have just a little bit of guidance and you have the drive, you're a little more fearless. So you might go out and do something really great.
very, very true. Yes, I would absolutely back then. I'm like, I just went guns a-blazing. I'm like, honestly, funny story. I actually ended up getting the post office called on me because my mom and I would stuff, our would go around and we would stuff flyers. And the
Okay.
post office called me and they're like, "You can't do this. Like you can't do this." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know." And honestly, I really didn't know back then that you couldn't open people's mailboxes and that. So
Ah,
we learned the hard way on that side, but then but it was all fearless when when we were younger. And now that you're older and now I'm more wise, I'm still fearless.
yeah.
And it's more because of you know, it's more of what I believe in
Hmm.
now, mentally, mind, body, and soul, and how what I believe in faith-wise,
Yeah.
where fear, I mean, I have no fear. I literally have no fear because
Yeah.
I'm all about like frequencies and vibrations and such. And the way I believe is the more you raise your frequency and your vibration, the higher you are, you attract positivity. And if you're fear-based, you attract negativity. So
Yeah.
I literally go into everything without fear.
I'd kind of equate that to something I've been considering lately where I go, I'm just going to give, like I give a lot more than I'm receiving. And it's just, whether I'm helping people at work and I'm setting them up like, hey, you should talk to this person or listen to this education opportunity, or there's these webinars, here's a book to read. But I'm constantly seeking out that opportunity for other people and then just trying to drop those into their lives as you go along. And I have found that has paid off kind of in two ways where one, I'm not expecting anything from anybody. So my hopes aren't, I'm not kind of dashing my hopes and being like, I deserve this or I should get that. I just go along and it's like, if I can help, I can help. But I've always found it's always, every single time it's come back to benefit me some way, somehow. It's not necessarily like monetarily or anything, but, it's just people are more willing to help you in the future. And I think that pays dividends. So it's just like there's a lot to be said for kind of just having that feeling of, I don't know, you're just doing good and you're putting good out in the world and it'll come back to you uh, more times than
Tenfold.
not. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We call that obviously the law of attraction. I'm a
Mm.
big believer in that. And in my office and I'm in my team, they're so tired of hearing me say this, but I'm like, go with the flow. Just go with the flow.
Yeah.
And everything happens for a reason. I am a major believer in that. If it's negative, it was meant to be.
Hmm.
It's a bump in the road. And 99.9% of the time, if it happens, I sit back and I'm like, why did that happen? And 99% of the time, I'm like, oh, I may not have the answer then at that moment,
Hmm.
but then it's like that had to happen in order for that to happen and that to happen. And so I'm a big believer in giving. And here at SoRite, we are absolutely leading with the heart and emotion and feeling and not with greed
Yeah. Yeah.
because we are giving, 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 and we're here about saving lives. And you're seeing that with all of our products.
Yeah.
And every product that we have that we are creating and that we are innovating all goes towards helping others because I am in total agreement that as long as you are giving with the heart, that you will be rewarded tenfolds. And I'm not even talking about money or greed. It's just helping others, which will then help others and then help. I mean, it's just a trickle down effect.
Hmm.
So that's how I guide and lead my team here at SoRite.
Very good. Well, let's talk a bit about SoRite. And so where, yeah, obviously you're nationwide. Do you have a certain amount of states that you operate in? How many agencies do you work with? It sounds like you work with everybody. So,
Yes, we are. So we are nationwide, and we're actually in Puerto Rico as well. And then we are growing into Canada.
yeah.
So we've got some distributors in Canada, and we're bringing on some additional ones. Excuse me, but we are right now. We have Defense Cleanse and Decon in Canada, and we actually have a contract with the city of Edmonton there.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so for Decon. And we have recently filed for our disinfectant with Health Canada. So our disinfectant wipes and the
Mm,
disinfectant solution will be coming to Canada here shortly. And so yeah, we are growing substantially. We've got some very big contracts that are coming up and some big meetings here in the States that I'm not privy to announce just yet, but they will be
okay.
coming out very soon. And you're going to be seeing SoRite in a big, big way in 2026. And we're really excited about where SoRite's going. My whole goal when I created SoRite, once, and I'll tell you a little bit how we got into the public safety world,
Yeah.
but what everyone is telling us is we are going to become sort of like the Kleenex name of public safety. So, because we have, if you could just spend a day in my brain, I have about eight other ideas that I want to attack on, but my over here is like, for the love of God, no.
Yeah. Not another
You
one.
gotta, the CEO is all about being the visionary, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got like a lot of ideas that I want to bring out, but I can't conquer Rome in one day, right? So yeah. So yeah.
Well, what brought you into, like, what connected you with the law enforcement or public safety space? It's a hard place to
Uh,
get into. Like, there's so many products and everyone's trying to sell something, but, what's your connection?
well, let me just tell you, you have to have some really thick skin.
Yeah.
Everybody told me at the very beginning, you got to have 24 months of thick skin. Do you have it, or do you have it,
Mm.
Ryan? Do you have it? And I'm like, I got it. I'm like, do you know me? And they're like, no. And I'm like, you will. And now those people are like, yeah, you ain't going anywhere. I'm like, hell no, I'm not going anywhere. Um, so how I got into it. So I originally created, I can't, so I've been in the cleaning industry for 23 years. And I always tell people these hands say it all because they look like 80-year-old lady hands because of all the toxic cleaners that I
Hmm.
cleaned with. And the cleaning industry is extremely small. And, everybody knew everybody in the cleaning industry. And so I was sick and tired of seeing all of my employees drop like flies because they would always have their home concoctions. And I would come in and check on my employees and check their work and everything. And they would be coming, and I kid you not, they'd be coming running out of a school bathroom and there would be fumes, caustic fumes, and I'm like, what in the
Oh.
hell are you doing? And they, so long story short, I'm like, there has got to be something better than this. And it has never changed in 150 years. You got something new that would come out, and but yet they would not have fast kill times, and
Mm.
God, there's so much I need to talk about. Like I said, 6 hours, I could still be here talking about cleaning. But I'm going to just hit the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
So started with disinfectant. And I ended up having my first EPA registration. It failed. And it wasn't because of our solution, it was because of paperwork. So like $2 million, it was like I walked outside and went like this with $1.2 million.
Jeez.
Poof, it's gone, right? EPA is like, you got to start all over. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
self-funded all of this. Like I self-funded it all. So I'm like, lovely. So normal people would be in the fetal position crying, but I'm not normal. And I love when people call me crazy because that just means I'm on the right track.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I go back in and had to start all over. And I got a new EPA consultant, obviously, because she didn't do the right job. And so another $1.2 million later, and like 3 years later after that, it took me over 6 years to finally get our EPA registration on our disinfectant.
So this is
And
like your first break kind of into creating your own brand or
yes,
your first product?
my
Okay.
own product.
Your product.
Yeah,
Okay.
my own very own product. It took my team 6 years of R&D going back and forth. Test this, not fast enough. Go back to the drawing board. Let's try something else. How about this? How about that? Blah blah blah
Can
blah.
I ask on that though? Like, so when you're creating this stuff, and I'm wondering, is it the same today? But when you were initially creating it, like, I just picture people in like their garage mixing chemicals, and you're like, I hope I don't blow myself up or create some gas that I shouldn't be inhaling.
Well, that's a funny story. Okay, so I've got to be sort of careful where we had a messy situation
Mm,
with and you'll hear about it because I got picked up by another magazine because they love my entrepreneur story. And
yeah.
we had a messy situation with a FedEx truck. And
Oh,
we have pictures of it, but let's just say that the driver was very disheveled. And after some fees and such, yeah, we learned the hard way on that. And but lucky to know that is not the SoRite formulation. That
yeah,
was
yeah.
at the very, very beginning of our R&D. So we had to learn the hard way. But yes, we have very funny stories on that. So yes, but lots of going back and forth. And were we in our garage? No, we were working with our main chemist had a lab and such, and so and then we would send it off and get tested against Pseudomonas
Hmm,
and again, everything happens for a reason. There
yeah.
it is in my office. If that first registration did not fail, I would not know that we could kill in 15 seconds.
Oh, really?
I originally went in at 2 minutes. And 2 minutes as a dwell time, kill times on Pseudomonas is still very fast. But what did I say at the very beginning? I am a perfectionist and very competitive. I'm like, that's not fast enough. And if I did not have that failed registration, I would not have known that we could kill in 15 seconds.
Because
So,
you kept pushing it, right? Like you kept
oh
pushing
yeah.
further. Yeah.
Well, let's just say I heard um I heard a voice just telling me go in at 15 seconds. And I'm like, hmm. And they're like, go in at 15 seconds. And I'm like, hmm, all right. So we all hear that voice at 2 a.m., right?
Hmm.
We sometimes wake up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and we're like, what's that? And I continue to hear a voice wake me up and it kept saying, go in at 15 seconds. And so I'm like, all right, I'll go in at 15 seconds. And if I did not do that, then we would never be the fastest disinfectant where we're at. So
You know,
anyways,
I always think people might just be like, where would I even start? Like if I was creating a cleaning solution or a company, it's like I wouldn't even know like what I call a chemist. Where do I find a chemist? Like where are these people?
it took, that's another funny story. Like I keep telling people this is going to be a book and a movie. I kid. This is going to be a Netflix story. I'm not even kidding. Because I'm only giving you 2% of the story. Um, and so, again, um, as a female in this cleaning world, it's typically, I'd say 95% men and 5% women, is higher ups. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so as janitorial cleaning companies. And what was really crazy though, you're really getting like some good stuff here. Um, when I was in my early 30s, late 20s, again, I kept going around being like, I'm going to be on the steps of Washington changing the cleaning standards. And I didn't even really understand what that meant, but I just felt it in my soul that I was going to make a difference in the cleaning world. But I didn't even really know what that meant. I was just like, I am going to make a difference. I am going to disrupt the cleaning
Mm.
world, but I don't know how. Well, now I know. So I am just very driven and I don't take no for an answer. When I feel it in my heart and soul, I think you can see I'm a very passionate person and
Yeah.
I'm very strong emotional. Everybody's like, oh my God, I can feel your soul from here. I'm a very passionate person with everything I do, especially cleaning. I absolutely love cleaning. And so, I was just determined that something had to be better for the world. There was too many toxic cleaners out there, and I had to make a difference. So, a person introduced me to another, and then to another, and to another. And true story, my chemist was the very, very last chemist. My business partner at the time, Gus Canapieko, God rest his soul. He and I searched and searched and searched, and he was, Michael was our last, person to meet with. And, Gus is like, I can feel it. I feel it. This is the guy. This is the guy. And we traveled all over the world to try to find chemists all over the world. I
Really?
mean,
Wow.
everywhere. And guess where our chemist was? In the state of Tennessee.
I was
And
gonna
he was
say in
our
your backyard. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Like
he
right
was
there.
my very last guy. And I even told Gus, I said, I was crying because I said, this is it. I can't do this anymore. And I'm putting the white flag up if he can't do it. And long story short, he was our last one and he figured it out. And we had a great working relationship. And it took us 6 years,
Hmm.
but we did it and we never gave up and we continued to go back and forth. And then my patent attorney, I've known him for 8 years, who is now my COO, and he actually did patents for my father. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like really, it's a cool story. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And then we ended up getting a dominant patent on the solution last April. We have now received patents in Japan. Israel is coming on board, and we filed in EU, UK, Brazil, Australia, Canada,
Hmm.
and we are now, they're all starting to roll in.
Wow.
So
Is
yeah,
that all in the last year? Like all
yes.
this back?
Mhm.
Jeez. So, okay. So there's lots of
Yeah,
success coming up here recently.
it's all coming in. And then from there, so now the good stuff, getting into the public safety. So I started to work out in California, and because for like fruits and vegetables, and because again I'm on a mission to really change the way that the world is, and toxic chemicals, removing toxic chemicals. So here we are, and we have again one of the fastest disinfectants on MRSA, MRSA, Listeria, Salmonella, all of that, right?
Hmm.
And so with our COVID-19, all of that. And so with our fast kill times, a gentleman asked me in the public safety world, what does this do to fentanyl? I didn't know diddly squat about fentanyl.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I don't know. I had probably like not a number, we'll just say a number of people ask me, what does it do to fentanyl? And so finally I'm like, okay, well, something's going on with fentanyl. And so that's when it was just rearing its ugly head, like in the public eye, in
Yeah.
the media a lot. And so you started hearing about it more. And so I came back to my chemist and I'm like, what does this do? What would our product do to fentanyl? And they're like, well, we are an excellent oxidizer. I mean, we are a very strong oxidizer. It should annihilate it. And I'm like, well, let's test it.
Yeah.
And so we go to a DEA accredited lab and we test it at 10 minutes because we had no idea. I just said, all right, I don't know, 10 minutes.
That was going
And
to be one of my
we,
questions, be like, where'd you get the fentanyl? Hopefully you didn't just go buy it off the street.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, but we went to Tri Clinic, which is a DEA accredited lab, and they worked with us, and we tested at 10 minutes using H1 NMR, and it was gone at 10 minutes, and we're like, what? And then so then I go, all right, well, let's try 60 seconds, and same thing. So then we go, okay, xylazine,
Hmm.
heroin, and same kind of thing at 60 seconds. It was gone. And
Wow.
so then we're like, all right, we're onto something here. So then, fast forward, we did our LCMS testing on cocaine, meth, and more fentanyl, and same thing. I mean, we're adding to our repertoire on all of our testing. We used MRI Global, which is like the cream of the crop. And let me tell you, we have spent easily over $250,000 and more on fentanyl testing. And it is expensive as what it
Yeah.
can be. So then we then brought in Chris Cialino, who has all of his hazmat background, and he helped us put our protocol together. So that's where you cloak it, soak it, bag it. That's how the cloak
Okay.
it, soak it, bag it came in from for decon. And so we just started to bring in, industry leaders to start helping us. And now Charlie Noonan has come in, and he's got 28 years of DEA experience in clandestine lab. I mean, just we're bringing in the best of the best of the best, and
Hmm.
we're then going to be bringing in, beginning our SoRite training, because we've just been asked for our SoRite training in all of our different programs and products and industries, and so in that way on getting into the public safety. And so that's when everybody's like, well, I hope you got thick skin because with you not ever holding the badge and having that background, you guys are tough. Y'all are tough to get into.
Yeah.
You really are. But
Well,
I understand. I understand now why.
well, I just think even on that, law enforcement just has like so many opportunities because of the job. Like I walk into all kinds of businesses all day. I talk to people of, every background all day. And yet for whatever reason, there's a million of them, depending especially on the industry, but it's like we don't reach out to these other people and ask for help or recognize them as maybe they're the experts in this area and we should actually kind of tap into that. We just try to, if police want something done, it's like, well, just put a cop there and then we'll get them a course and we'll teach them how to do it. And you're like, no, that's not their job. And they don't know how to do it. Bring in an actual expert. So,
Well, the other thing I always notice too is y'all do the same thing. Y'all don't like change.
yeah.
I've noticed that you guys like the same.
Yeah, the
And
consistency.
yes, and then also you guys do have a lot of people that bring in different products, and a lot of them don't work or they're
Hmm.
not up to what the sell of goods, and
Yep.
so you get a bad taste in your mouth. And so we just have to work, and that's why I'm saying we don't give up. We just got to keep poking and keep proving that what we say is right, and we keep bringing the industry leaders that that have the consistency and the background and the history and the knowledge. And that's where Robert Sorensen and
Yeah.
his background, and we're bringing in just the industry leaders to back us and to say, we have validated this. We are putting our name and reputation behind this, and that speaks volume
Yeah.
with you guys. Speaks major volume.
So that's kind of, I guess, would maybe kind of lead into one of the questions I was thinking of was, so do you have ongoing relationship with these law enforcement agencies where they, if they come up with say a new drug comes out and they're like, okay, this is going to be the next thing on the street we have to deal with, are they reaching out proactively now? Is it getting to that stage where they go, hey, we need you to help us come up with some sort of solution?
Absolutely. Like, for example, mailroom screening, that's a
Mm,
big one.
yeah.
So we're working with different departments, and I don't want to say their names because I haven't gotten the approval
Yeah.
from them, but we are working with different departments and different agencies. We're really focusing with jails and prisons,
Oh, okay.
corrections. We really focus with them because A, they can use our disinfectant, our defense cleanse, and our decon. So they're able to utilize. Um, and all under one roof. So mailroom screening is a big, big deal with fentanyl and K2 and um, gosh, I mean it's everything and everywhere.
Mhm.
So we've had different agencies call us and they're like, hey, can you help us with this? Can we bring your product in and let's test it on that or this? And so we're working right along with them on that.
Okay. Very cool. What you were
And
saying? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, we'll get into that. There's a lot of new stuff that's exciting that people have called us and said, "Can you help us with?" Um, yeah, well, I can't say it. There's some really exciting stuff coming out on the defense cleanse side in 2026, where the agencies have called us.
Mhm.
Um, Ideas that I'm like, interesting. So they were the ones that got us in touch with different industry leaders and partnered us up together. So it's going to be fun.
It's amazing
Yeah.
how fast it goes once you just kind of open the door and you're willing. You have that willingness to actually go out. Maybe it's outside the comfort zone, but also, I don't know, just have some humility and be like, we need help on this and we got to go to somebody.
Well, I think that, yes, but then also, if anybody gets the chance, look at our website, look at, follow us on LinkedIn and
Mhm.
who we are and what we stand for as a company. Everyone, it's crazy. Honestly, it's really crazy how people are. I am getting, on average, I'm not even kidding, at least 4 messages from people that are retired, that have retired where they love our mission. And our mission stands for we are here to save lives. We are
Yeah.
here on a mission on ourselves to save lives. And how can we help? And it's almost like people are loving our products and what we stand for, the non-toxic, non-cancer causing, safe, effective, mission driven. And we are here to help you. We are leading with emotion and heart and not greed. And people are coming out of the woodworks wanting to be a part of that. And they're like, how can we help? They're retired and they're like, and they have a voice as well. And
Mhm.
it's just it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. So that person's getting us in touch with that person and that one over here and here and there. And it's a big family that we're creating. And we're about to bring out a big the training program, but also something else that is going to make this an even bigger family.
Okay.
Because when I first started this company, I told everyone with decon, I will not rest until every police officer has this product in their cruiser, point blank.
Mhm.
And I want to make it affordable. And that was my other thing is I did not get this product And again, I feel that I was given this product for a reason and a purpose. And I cannot, in good faith, um, I've got to make it affordable to where people can afford to have this product. And
Yeah.
some very cool things coming out for you guys where you are going to be able to use all of these products on a daily basis. So,
You know, one of the biggest things I just know from dealing with police services and budgets, it's like cost is always a factor. So that's usually the first question. What is this going to cost me? If I want to learn, if I want some training or something, it's like I don't care where it is or what you're doing. Just what's it going to cost me is the first question
yeah.
before anything else. So yeah, I mean you're right on point with that. Um,
Well,
can
and
you?
some agencies aren't able to, to be able to afford to give it to all of their officers.
Yeah.
So we are going to make it affordable for them to be able to protect themselves. So,
Can you talk a bit about a little more about the product? So like Defense Cleanse. So this is like comes in a wipe form and you can basically wipe OC off your face from what I
yeah.
understand, but you also have I had it written down here. Yeah, you can put it as a like a laundry additive, so you can decontaminate your clothes, which is something like we do some of our training with our public safety unit, like the crowd control units. So you have certain training days where you're exposed to CS gas, so it's all over your clothes, and I throw it in the
It is
washer.
gnarly.
Yeah, and you throw it in the washer, but it doesn't necessarily get all of it out, so I'm still sneezing when I put it on the next day. So,
Mhm.
like, how did you come up with all these different areas? Is this just stuff you kind of learned over time? And can you talk about some of the things that you have created that can help?
Yeah, would love to. Well, first off, I earned my stripes. I have been pepper sprayed many
Yeah.
times. So in OCCS. And let me tell you that that one's the worst.
Yeah.
I have been pepper sprayed and OCCS twice, and that was just the gnarliest out of all of them. So, I believe in I mean, you got to experience yourself in order to sell it and create it, right? So yeah, Defense Cleanse. I think that that's another real cool product that and here's the thing. Can I cuss on your
Oh yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so this shit works. No, like point blank, this shit works. And that we are leaning into that with Defense Cleanse because that is the first thing that everybody always says as soon as they get pepper sprayed, because we all know how gnarly it is and it hurts. After we use our products on them, we are the fastest and most effective decontamination aftercare product against OC, CS, CN, bear spray, and PAVA. So your eyes are opened within 3 minutes and back into a fight. I mean, with a full on contact spray. Blowback is within a minute, minute and a
Yeah.
half with just cross contamination or less. And
Well,
so
Robert
with
was
like the,
saying when I chatted with Robert, just real
Mhm.
quick, he was saying like, one of the ways to think about this is you provide that to the people you're dealing with. And I've had this where, I mean, I tasered a guy once and he clenched his bicep and his bicep exploded. I spent 8 hours in the hospital with him, just sitting there with him waiting. And just through being able to chat with him and, you know, caring for this person, they end up turning into, a really interesting character. We got some interesting information out of. But I was like, well, if you could do that, and Robert was bringing this up, like you do that with somebody on the street that you OC spray, and then 2 seconds later you are like wiping this stuff off their face, and they're better. And you're like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not here to beat you up and do things to you. Like I'm not a mean person, but you act a certain way, dictated a response. Now we clean you up, dust you off. We can
We
move
are
on. Yeah.
de-escalating.
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's kind of seeing it
de-escalating.
from both sides of it, not just for the officer, but for the people you're dealing with.
Correct. Absolutely. And so, So if you get full on, we've taken a class, an academy class, and we had four people there to help us just on one experience, to tell you how fast the stuff works. We deconned 70 students, deconned all 70. They were back in the classroom, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and I had every single one of them screaming, "So right is so right,"
Yeah.
in less than 1 hour.
Wow.
So imagine that, all 70 of them in and out, pepper sprayed, deconned, and sitting in a classroom in less than 1 hour. So this is perfect for academy training. If you're wanting to get in and out and get back
Mhm.
into the classroom, you can use this for inside the cells wherever you went in and you sprayed inside the different cells. You can use this in a pump up sprayer and spray down the cells. So you can decon that, decon the back of vehicles, or you can set it up, if outside, if you have like a mass, and I'm going totally blank here. So cut this out, if you will.
You're just saying like if
Um,
you if it's got like you got a contaminated area outside?
Yes. Oh my gosh, a riot. Like a
Oh, okay.
riot situation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So a mass like a riot situation outdoors where you could have them all lined up. And then you can use like 1 cup. So 1 cup of this product with your laundry, gone. I mean, your pepper spray. So if you get pepper sprayed or anything, put it in 1 cup in your laundry and it is gone
So
completely.
what does it actually do to the product? Because from what I understand, that like OC spray is like cayenne pepper ground down to like whatever one thousandth of an inch or something. So does it uh
It's
like killing stuff, or is it just make it, I don't know,
it's like
neutralizing?
think of it as like an excellent degreaser on crack. Like,
Okay.
that's a bad way of saying it, but it basically degreases. It breaks down. So it breaks down those oils on your face.
Mm,
And then once you rinse it using our warp protocol. So with our warp protocol, you'll wipe using our wipe, you'll apply our solution with a spray, you'll rinse, repeat. So every time you're rinsing, you usually repeat that about like 3 times, 2 to 3 times, depending on how bad you got sprayed. So you'll wipe, apply, rinse, repeat. So every time you're rinsing, you're pulling with our product, it's pulling those oils out and then it's rinsing it, right?
yeah.
And relieving it, cleansing it off the skin. And then you purge with your eyes open, you purge the water, and you're back ready for the fight within 3 minutes.
Wow.
So it is an excellent degreaser and works extremely fast. So
Okay.
now let's say you're out there and you only have the wipes. We've had individuals that have been bear sprayed. So that's 2%, right? So using the bear spray and they just had our wipes. We have videos where they were back in action in a minute 30 to a minute and 45 seconds just using wipes.
Wow.
So it's yeah, I mean it just yeah, I mean it's you'll ring that out. We have a protocol for that as well. Wringing the solution out with your eyes closed and having it on your eyes and then wiping it off of your on your face and
Mhm.
rinse and repeating. But so yeah, just think of it as a an excellent degreaser.
Okay. And then just back to you were talking about the product that you would use on like fentanyl. How does that one work? Because fentanyl's some gnarly stuff. Like it's so what is
Yes,
that just killing it or what is it affecting?
oxidation.
Yeah. What does that
A
do
very
to it though?
so a very strong. It's a very strong oxidizer. So it's breaking down on a molecular level.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the way that we're able to adjust this is like basically think of this since the defense cleanse is going on the skin, we were able to adjust the percentages on our formulation. to a lower percentage on with that going on the skin. And then with our disinfectant, we have a percentage of going on, with EPA regulations. So we have to
Mhm.
follow that with the disinfectant. And then on the decon, since we're going after fentanyl, we've adjusted those percentages to make it higher since we're obviously fighting fentanyl.
Yeah.
So our active ingredient is sodium chlorite. So
Hmm.
it is so sodium chlorite is basically, we're all ready to use. This is what really stands us apart on the decon side. We're ready to use. Whereas our competition is a three-part system, right? So we're
Okay.
ready to use. We have our oxidation time is 60 seconds against, fentanyl, meth, cocaine, heroin, xylazine. And then we people that our product itself, the solution itself, is extremely safe and effective and non-toxic. So you do not, it's safe on the skin, it's gentle on the skin, on irritation, skin irritation, inhalation, and ingestion, we scored a category 4, which is the same as water, basically.
Oh, wow.
And then on eye, we are a slight mild eye irritant. So we're a category 3. It's basically like what it's like you opening your eyes in the ocean. So,
Mm.
but now when you're handling fentanyl, obviously you want to have PPE. So we want to make that very, very clear. The other thing that I want to make very clear to people is because the one question we get asked all the time with our decon product, well,
Yeah.
you're not EPA registered. Let me make, if anything, if there's anything you take home from this podcast, a decontaminant for fentanyl cannot be EPA registered. It is a absolute no-go. So I went to and people do not know this because they're like, well,
Yeah.
you're not EPA registered. There is no, I'm looking straight in the camera. There is no way possible that we will ever get EPA registration. I was asked by the EPA Homeland Department of Homeland Security. I did a speech, like we did a speaking engagement
Hmm.
at it was 2 years ago for the EPA on decontamination for SoRite Decon, and I met with the director, and I personally asked them, how can we get the EPA to to back our decontaminant, and they said, let me put it to you this way. You will be 6 feet under, and your children's 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 children will be 6 feet under before the EPA will ever allow, a decontaminant to be registered by the EPA. So I'm like, so you're
Is
saying we have a chance? I'm like,
is that just like a liability thing? Like they're scared if they say it's okay, then they're on the hook if it doesn't work
well,
at some point, or
liability, but then also what they told us is, they're over disinfectants, over pesticides. And think about it, fentanyl is not anything living. It's not living.
yeah.
It's not. So they can never regulate. They're never going to put their name on regulating fentanyl. So they're
Mm.
just decontaminant, and FDA won't as well. So it's sort of like a wild, wild west. So
Yeah.
in here in the United States, it is. Um, that is one thing with everybody is the EPA will never regulate or a decontaminant. So
Okay. Um, no, it's interesting. I find all
it
this stuff
is.
fascinating, like the behind the scenes and how this all comes together. Um, we're just coming up to the end of our time, but I wanted to ask, so you're coming into Canada, you have a contract you said with the city of Edmonton.
Mhm.
Is that just with the city or is that with the police service for these products or not law enforcement yet?
So we are working with a distributor, MH Care. and they've
Okay.
got the yeah, they've got the contract with the city of Edmonton where they are using the decon for cleanup.
Okay.
So in like mass transit and restrooms, the city restrooms and things like that.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Well, I'm curious. I keep my eyes open for this coming up here. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, we're just at the end of the time. Last thing I always kind of finish off with is where can people find you, find the products? Obviously, we have the website, so SoRite, and it's RITE, the
Yes.
website for that. But where else?
So you can find some of the products like our disinfectant and a few of the defense cleanse is found a little bit on Amazon, but the majority are found on SoRite.com. However, we do have distributors. So if you go to SoRite.com, you can find a list of all of our distributors that are listed there. And you can contact them directly, or you can contact us and we can get you in touch with the distributors and manufacturing reps. And yeah, that as well. So, yeah, and
Awesome.
SoRite, fun story, a little one on that. It
Mhm.
stands for sodium chlorite, is SoRite.
You got a lot of slogans that are good for marketing. I hope you're
Yeah.
using all of these.
That's
So,
my MTSU coming out,
especially the one that this shit works. I think that's the best one. That's just to the
right?
point.
I mean, hey, our people came up with that one. Our customers did, so I can't take full, I can't take that one.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we're just wrapping this up. I'd be happy to have you on again. I mean, this is interesting stuff, and happy to kind of chat in the future about some of the new products and once you're operating up in Canada, the new Wild West up here, and see how that's going. So
Yeah, would
that'd
love
be really good.
to. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me and letting me share our story. And yeah, let's get together again.
Okay, hang on the line for 2 seconds. I'll chat just offline.